very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society.
You're in violation of secure communication procedures, Commodore.
So we just went ahead and fixed the glitch.
There is no America. There is no democracy.
Our fifth objective, a new world order.
There are no nations. There are no peoples. There are no Russians. There are no Arabs. There are no third worlds. There is no West.
Right-wing conspiracy.
What do you call it when the assassins accuse the assassin?
A new world order.
Thank you for plugging in to the Stones Unturned podcast.
Well, just a second there, Professor. We fixed the glitch.
I'm your host, Professor Thomas Henry Horan.
He reads everything.
Jeez. Is that better? Did you hear the theme? What the fuck happened? Oh, you know what? I had to do a system update yesterday. Did you hear the theme? Allard. Hi, Allard. Okay, all good means you heard the theme. What do you mean no theme? Let's try it again. Nope, hold on. Okay, last time it showed that it was playing. No, not desktop audio. Maybe I should just retire. Maybe I should just quit. What happened?
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society.
You're in violation of secure communication procedures, Commodore.
So we just went ahead and fixed the glitch.
There is no America. There is no democracy.
Our fifth objective, a new world order.
There are no nations. There are no peoples. There are no Russians. There are no Arabs. There are no third worlds. There is no West.
Right-wing conspiracy.
What do you call it when the assassins accuse the assassin?
A new world order.
Thank you for plugging in to the Stones Unturned podcast.
Well, just a second there, Professor. We fixed the glitch.
I'm your host, Professor Thomas Henry Horan.
He reads everything.
Okay, let's try again. Now I have to wonder what else got fucked up. Never before did updating Windows cause that crap. Okay. So, yesterday's episode, instead of trying to recreate that, hopefully you caught it. I'm going to shift over a little bit. The reason I'm focusing on the you-know-what class is because it has everything to do with what's going on right now. I'm just waiting for something else to fucking go wrong. So wait for people to show up. So once again, I can't even do this on YouTube. It won't even let me type in the title of the episode sometimes. So we have to do it on the other website. I'll make this one public. One person has subscribed. Thank you very much. I won't embarrass you in front of your friends by mentioning your name yet. I have this thing cracked, but it takes time to explain this to people. So going back to Zodiac, I don't even feel like doing this. Going back to Zodiac, there's this massive hoax. Somebody writes letters to the San Francisco Chronicle taking credit for these murders, and they send in, for some reason, a coded message that supposedly explains the motive, and the motive supposedly is that the fictional Zodiac killer supposedly belongs to this weird pseudo-Islamic cult, right? They pretend to be Muslims because they live in the Muslim empires. But it's actually Tibetan Buddhism, and it's all about sacrificing. It's all about human sacrifice. The enemies I have killed will become my slaves in paradise. The guy who actually wrote the Zodiac Killer letters was a World War II veteran who had served under Colonel Wendell Fertig, the real Colonel Kurtz, in the Philippines. Now, this matters a lot because OSS and CIA high-ranking officer Edward Lansdale, who starts the Roswell UFO hoax, he's all up in the Philippines, and especially after World War II, because the anti-Japanese rebels on Mindanao are members of this cult, the Moros and a couple of other tribes. General Blackjack Pershing was initiated into the Moros and into this cult, commander of the so-called Buffalo Soldiers. Several African-American officers and soldiers from that regiment defected to the Philippine rebel cause in the 1890s, early 1900s, and at least one of them comes back to the United States and starts groups like the Black Panthers or what's that other group? Nation of Islam. So, and especially the paramilitary wing of the Nation of Islam. So you have all these revolutionary groups, the communists, the Nazis. You have all these revolutionary groups who, these con artists calling themselves theosophists, worm their way into. The Soviet intelligence agencies worm their way into. The FBI and the CIA worm their way into these revolutionary groups. So they're all crossing paths like this. But a lot of them get their ideas from these occultists. Who they're like, that includes the Seventh-day Adventists, that includes the Mormons, that includes a lot of these cults that spring up in upstate New York, the Second Great Awakening, whatever you want to call it. They're all very directly related. They are all inspired by this, maybe the smartest guy who ever lived, Emanuel Swedenborg, who claimed, long before Joseph Smith did, that he'd been visited by an angel. But he said, Swedenborg said his angel showed up in a flying saucer, literally, and came from another planet. So this is where the whole idea of aliens and biblical angels and ancient angels, this is where the whole idea comes from, that they were actually aliens who came here in spaceships and built pyramids and things. This all starts with one guy, Emanuel Swedenborg. Emanuel Swedenborg invents the term theosophy. He didn't invent it. Let me explain what a theologian is. A theologian is somebody who takes something like Buddhism and they try to explain this to somebody who comes from another philosophy, or, thanks Alpine, philosophy or another philosophy or religion. So Henry Steele Olcott was the theologian who explained Buddhism to Western Christians. This is why Western Christians think of nirvana as heaven. Nothing could be further from the truth. But you can blame Olcott for that. He's a theologian. He really studied this stuff, and he tried to explain this to Christians, Western Christians, Victorian Christians, for what it's worth. A theosophist is someone who does not do that. So let's say a rabbi who never read any books except the Torah or the Tanakh, he never in the Talmud, never read any other books whatsoever. Never read Plato, never read the Christian Bible. That person is a theosophist, somebody who stays strictly within the sacred texts and knowledge and teachings of their one particular religion. Emanuel Swedenborg coins this phrase, theosopher and theosophy. He claims that he's the guy who comes up with this idea Jesus is an enlightened, elevated master. This is pretty much, hi Gary, this is pretty much exactly what Joseph Smith says he goes through. He gets it all from Emanuel Swedenborg. Swedenborg peaked around the 1790s, 1800. He had met all the great astronomers when he was young. He probably met Isaac Newton. There's a gap in Swedenborg's diary when he goes to England. This is when he may have met Newton. But Swedenborg makes contact with the Rosicrucians. We know that Newton had contact with the Rosicrucians. Newton is a little bit complicated. He studied all the alchemical texts. He wasn't really a Rosicrucian. He considered himself, and he wrote a whole book about this, an Arian Christian and a devout one. So you can't really blame, I don't think you can really blame Newton for this stuff, but supposedly Swedenborg met with him. All of this crap you've ever gotten from theosophy, let me ask, I forgot to find out something here. What this has to do with Cecelia Shepard is Cecelia Shepard was not just a Seventh-day Adventist. Cecelia Shepard's family were the big mucky mucks of the Seventh-day Adventist church in India, where Annie Besant moved to. Did Olcott move there? They were like this. The SDA church in India were like this with Annie Besant. The SDA church were all up into Gandhi's non-violent protest movement. And Cecelia Shepard's grandparents and parents were the highest ranking officials in the SDA church running the mission in all of South Asia. So they were friends of Annie Besant. They were friends with Gandhi. They met Gandhi through Annie Besant. The Seventh-day Adventist church was all about Gandhi. So don't tell me Cecilia's parents didn't have tea with Gandhi and Annie Besant. The SDA church has their annual camporee for young people at Annie Besant Park. In, where is it, Delhi or wherever? Annie Besant is not nearly as, she's not as far out as, say, Blavatsky, who was just a con artist, and Crowley, who was a con artist who loved there's a book called Secret Agent 666 you need to read. Richard Spence. I will look up a couple of things here in a minute. Okay. So Theosophy comes out at a time when there's a lot of apocalypticism in the air. Technically, apocalypse doesn't mean end of the world. Apocalypse means a vision. Apocalypsos, to look behind the veil. Armageddon is your end of the world. And the Theosophists, a lot of them buy into this idea that we need to destroy the world as quickly as possible so we can hurry up and build a new one. Right? There's been a delayed destruction of the world. Seventh-day Adventists, some of the best doctors and nurses, some of the best medical schools. That's park rangers, doctors, nurses, public service. There's nothing wrong with their medical schools or their nursing schools. But They were very Millerite. A lot of them, a lot of them were like Mormons who become like there's a lot of cross-pollination when they're all camped out in upstate New York. There's not that much of a gap between the Seventh-day Adventist Church and the Mormon Church and the Jehovah's Witnesses. They all come out of the same movement. They're all deeply influenced by Swedenborg. It's all Swedenborg, and Joseph Smith in particular. I know. Let me see. Well, there's something I can't even talk about on YouTube. We'll have to go to the other. Go to this website. Click the link in the description of this video. Click on Watch Episodes. Where's the next live stream? What do you mean no live stream scheduled? I scheduled a live stream. Where is it? Maybe it's because I am logged in as admin. Let me try this. Let me log in as a regular user. Yes, there it is. That's bizarre. Okay. So you go to the website. Here's where you land. You'll have to continue with Google. Yep, see, they're scheduled. And then you can click either here or up here. You click on Watch Stones Unturned Podcast. There it is. View details. When I hit go live, this part works. It will auto start, but it will be auto muted. So you'll have to unmute it. I still haven't fixed that because I haven't fixed the whole thing about ending the stream. So in a few minutes, this will start. Now, I mention all of this because the people who create Hitler and who operate Hitler are all into this. The guy who invents Blitzkrieg, J.C.F. Fuller, British military historian, invents Blitzkrieg before World War I, was so into this stuff, he wrote a book claiming that Aleister Crowley was the second coming of Christ. Aleister Crowley was the world savior. Okay? He's like this with Guderian, Rommel, Blomberg, those guys. And no, not all of those guys. Like von Papen was not into the occult or any of this crap. He wasn't even really into folkish stuff. But this folkish movement, there's a lot of a lot of people jump from one to another. But all of this crap comes from Swedenborg. And Swedenborg's views on the Jews, where was I? Well, you know what? Let's just get the premium thing going because I got to watch what I say on YouTube. Okay? Hi, Lisa. Mwah. So I'm about to end the free YouTube, and you'll have to go. This episode will be free. This premium episode on the new website will be free. That's right, the Burned Over District. Okay, so let's just get over there now. Let me try it like this. Go live. Where'd it go? To get these two swapped around. Oh no, here, let's do this one. Did it go live or not? It worked yesterday. I haven't changed a fucking thing. Oh boy. Where's my phone? Are you guys seeing it? Turn off the volume. Go to the website. Sign out. It says it started. I mean, it says it's scheduled, but it hasn't says it started. For some reason, when I click, I know what it is. This really has to be fixed. I don't know. This is a Cloudflare problem. I know what the problem is. But I have to stop the stream to fix it. I don't even know where it went. I got my flu shot, and now I have a sore throat. My nose is running. I can't log into my own website. I think I quit. I think I'm just going to quit. That's a joke. I'm not quitting. I have to sign out and sign back in again. I can't tell. Huh. My nose will not stop running. Okay, let me try again. Give me half an hour and I'll try again. This has to work or we're not going to get anywhere. Now I can't even sign in. Okay, now I find it again. Now the go live button is back. Give me a second. I got to go puke or something. 1 second. I can't even. Give me 1 second. Okay, I had two browser windows open. See, this is complicated. Let's try it again, and then... Okay, it's persisting there. Is it popping up here? You shouldn't have to refresh your screen. There it goes. Okay, goodbye YouTube for the nonce. I will see you soon. Maybe I better do this first.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society.
You're in violation of secure communication procedures, Condor.
So we just went ahead and fixed the glitch.
There is no America. There is no democracy.
Our fifth objective, a new world order.
There are no nations. There are no peoples. There are no Russians. There are no Arabs. There are no third worlds. There is no
Vast
West.
right-wing conspiracy.
What do you call it when the assassins accuse the assassin?
A new world order.
Thank you for plugging in to the Stones Unturned podcast.
Well, just a second there, Professor. We fixed the glitch.
I'm your host, Professor Thomas Henry Horan.
He reads everything.
Hi, Alan. Gary, can I drop a link? Apparently not. Apparently I can't do fucking shit. Let's see. There's this. It's just too complicated. All right. I need a better workflow is what I need. That's not it. What the fuck? That might be the admin. This one. All right, there we go. In stream on YouTube.